You can close your eyes now, if you'd like to. There's nothing left that needs your attention right now. Whatever still feels unfinished, whatever still feels loud inside your mind, it can wait. Not because it doesn't matter, but because you matter more. And right now, what you need most is to be here, in this moment, where the day has already released its hold on you, even if your thoughts haven't caught up yet. I know how it feels when your mind won't stop. When you lie down hoping for rest, but instead find yourself replaying conversations, rewriting moments, imagining outcomes that haven't happened and probably never will. It's exhausting, isn't it? To carry the weight of the entire day into the one part of your life that's supposed to be soft. To lie there in the dark, eyes closed, body still, while your mind races through corridors you didn't even know were still open. But you're here now, and that's enough. You don't have to fix anything right now. You don't have to solve the thing that's been following you all day. You don't have to figure out what you'll say tomorrow, or how you'll handle what's coming, or whether you did enough, said enough, were enough. You don't have to be anything other than exactly this, a person who is tired, who showed up, who made it through, and who is now allowed to rest. Let me stay here with you for a while. There's something sacred about the night, even when it doesn't feel peaceful, even when your thoughts are loud and your heart feels heavy. The night holds space for all of it, the worry, the doubt, the tender ache of being human. It doesn't ask you to be calm. It doesn't require you to have it all figured out. It simply wraps around you and says, you can rest now. I'll hold this for you. And maybe that's what you need to hear right now, that it's okay to let go. That you've been holding on so tightly for so long, and your hands are tired, and your heart is tired, and it's safe now to soften. You've been strong all day. You've kept moving, kept responding, kept showing up even when you didn't feel like you had anything left to give. And maybe no one told you that was hard. Maybe no one noticed. But I see it. I see how much it takes just to keep going sometimes. And I want you to know that you don't have to keep going right now. You can stop. You can be still. You can let yourself simply exist without needing to prove anything, or produce anything, or be anything for anyone. This is your time. This is your space. And in this space, there's nothing you need to earn. I want you to imagine something with me if you're willing. Picture a small room, somewhere far from where you are. The walls are soft, the color of early twilight, not quite blue, not quite gray, just the gentle shade that comes when the sun has set, but the stars haven't fully emerged yet. There's one window, and through it, you can see the night settling in, calm and unhurried. No streetlights, no noise. Just the quiet presence of darkness wrapping itself around the world. In this room, there's nothing you have to do. No one is waiting for you. No messages are coming through. There are no tasks left undone. No expectations hanging in the air. It's just you, and the stillness, and the permission to finally let your mind be as tired as your body. There's a chair by the window. It's soft, worn in all the right places. The kind of chair that seems to know the shape of you before you even sit down. And when you do, when you lower yourself into it, it holds you without question. It doesn't ask you to explain why you're tired. It doesn't need to know what happened or what's still unresolved. It just lets you be held. And maybe that's what you've been needing. Not answers, not solutions, just to be held. Just to feel like you don't have to carry everything all by yourself for a little while. So let yourself sink into that chair. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let the tension in your forehead smooth out. Just a little. You don't have to force it. You don't have to make yourself relax. Just allow the possibility that maybe, slowly, gently, you could soften. Your thoughts are still there. I know. They're still whispering, still pulling at your attention, still trying to convince you that you need to think about this one more time, figure out that one more thing, prepare for what might happen next. And that's okay. You don't have to fight them. You don't have to push them away, or tell yourself you shouldn't be thinking about this, but you also don't have to follow them. Imagine your thoughts like birds flying past the window of that quiet room. They're there. You can see them, but you don't have to get up and follow them. You can just watch them pass. Some of them will circle back. Some of them will land for a moment and then take off again. And that's okay. You're not responsible for controlling them. You're just here, in this chair, watching them move through the sky of your mind while you stay still. You are allowed to stay still. You've been in motion for so long. Even when your body was at rest, your mind was working, planning, anticipating, replaying, protecting. It's been trying so hard to keep you safe, to prepare you, to make sure you don't miss anything important. And maybe it's exhausted too. Maybe it doesn't know how to stop because it's afraid that if it does, something will slip through, something will go wrong, something will fall apart. But nothing is falling apart right now. Right now, in this moment, you are safe, you are whole, and you are allowed to rest. Let me tell you something that might be hard to believe, but I want you to consider it anyway. You are not the sum of what you accomplished. You are not the mistakes you made or the things you didn't finish. You are not the conversations you wish you'd handled differently or the moments you wish you could take back. You are not the anxiety that keeps you awake or the thoughts that won't stop or the feeling that you're somehow not doing enough, not being enough, not enough. You are a person who is trying, and that is more than enough. You showed up, even when it was hard, even when you didn't want to, even when you felt like you had nothing left, you showed up. And that takes a kind of courage that often goes unnoticed, even by you, especially by you. So let yourself be seen right now, even if it's just by this voice, even if it's just in the privacy of your own mind. You are seen, you are valued, and you are allowed to stop trying for a little while. The night is long, and it's patient, and it has no agenda except to hold you while you rest. It doesn't need anything from you. It doesn't require you to be grateful or positive or calm. It just offers itself to you, the way it offers itself to everyone who's ever felt too much, thought too much, carried too much. And in this offering, there's a kind of grace, not the kind that demands anything in return, just the kind that says, you can let go now. I've got this. You don't have to hold on so tightly anymore. What would it feel like to believe that, even just for a moment? To believe that you could release your grip just a little and everything would still be okay? Maybe you don't believe it yet. Maybe it feels too risky, too uncertain, and that's okay. You don't have to believe it fully. You just have to be willing to imagine it. To let the possibility sit beside you, quiet and undemanding, while you breathe in and out, letting each breath remind you that you're still here, still alive, still held. There's a kind of gentleness that only the night can offer, a tenderness that doesn't show itself in the daylight, when everything is loud and bright and demanding. But here, in the dark, when the world is quiet and you're finally alone with yourself, there's a softness that begins to emerge. Not because everything is resolved, not because the worries have disappeared, but because in the absence of everything else, there's just you, and you are allowed to be tender with yourself. You are allowed to say, I'm tired, I did my best, and that's enough. You are allowed to put down the weight you've been carrying, and trust that it will still be there if you need to pick it up again. You are allowed to stop rehearsing what you'll say, stop replaying what you said, stop imagining what might go wrong. You are allowed to simply exist without the need to justify or explain or defend your existence. You are allowed to rest. I know there's a part of you that's afraid to let go. That's afraid that if you stop thinking about it, stop worrying about it, stop trying to control it, something bad will happen, that you'll miss something important, that you'll be caught off guard, that you won't be prepared. But you've prepared enough. You've thought about it enough. And whatever happens tomorrow or the next day or next week, you'll handle it then. Right now, you don't have to handle anything. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to be ready for anything. You just have to be here. And here is safe. Here is quiet. Here is a place where you can finally let yourself be tired without feeling like that's a weakness. Because it's not. It's just the truth. You're tired, and you're allowed to honor that. Let's take a breath together. A slow one. In through your nose if you can, filling your lungs gently, not forcing it, just allowing the air to come in. And then, when you're ready, releasing it softly through your mouth, like a sigh, like a letting go. And again, breathing in the quiet, breathing out the noise, in with the stillness, out with the effort, in with the permission to rest, out with the need to keep going. You don't have to do this perfectly. There's no right way to breathe, no right way to rest, no right way to let go. You just have to let yourself try. And even if your thoughts come rushing back in between breaths, even if you find yourself distracted or restless or unsure, that's okay. You haven't failed. You're just human. And being human means your mind will wander, your thoughts will intrude, your worries will whisper. But it also means you can always come back. You can always return to this breath, this moment, this quiet space that's waiting for you whenever you're ready. I wonder if anyone has told you lately that you're doing okay, that even on the days when it doesn't feel like it, even when you look back and see all the things you didn't do or didn't say or didn't handle the way you wish you had, you're still doing okay. You're still moving forward, even if it's slower than you'd like. You're still showing up, even if it's harder than it used to be. And that matters. It matters more than you think. You matter more than you think. There's a version of you that exists only in this moment, here in the quiet, where the expectations have faded and the demands have softened and all that's left is the simple truth of your presence. This version of you doesn't have to prove anything, doesn't have to earn anything, doesn't have to be anything other than exactly what you are. Someone who is tired, someone who is trying, someone who is allowed to rest. And in this space, you are enough. Not because you've done enough or achieved enough or fixed enough, but because your worth isn't contingent on any of that. It never was. It's just that the noise of the day makes it hard to remember. The noise makes you think you have to keep earning the right to exist, to rest, to be cared for. But you don't. You never did. And here, in the stillness, maybe you can start to feel that truth settling into your bones, not as something you have to believe intellectually, but as something you can simply experience. The feeling of being held without having to earn it. The feeling of being seen without having to perform. The feeling of being allowed to rest without having to justify why you need it. You need it, and that's enough. Imagine now that the night is wrapping around you like a blanket. Not a heavy one, not something that traps you or holds you down, but something soft, something gentle, something that knows how to offer warmth without overwhelming you. It settles over your shoulders, drapes across your chest, tucks itself around your arms and legs, not to restrain you, but to remind you that you're held. You're safe. You're allowed to stop fighting and simply be. And underneath this blanket, you can feel your body beginning to release. The tightness in your chest loosening, just a little. The knot in your stomach unwinding, slowly, gently. The tension in your shoulders melting down your back, into the chair, into the earth, into the quiet that's been waiting to hold you all along. You don't have to force any of this. You don't have to make yourself relax or convince yourself to let go. You just have to allow it. Allow the possibility that your body knows how to rest, even when your mind doesn't. Allow the possibility that you can be tired and still be okay. Allow the possibility that this moment, right here, is enough. There's a phrase I want you to hear, even if you don't fully believe it yet. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be struggling. It's okay to feel like everything is too much and you don't know how to carry it all. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to need rest. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to simply be here, in this moment, feeling what you feel, thinking what you think, without needing to change any of it. You don't have to fix yourself. You're not broken. You're just tired. And tired people need rest, not criticism. They need gentleness, not judgment. They need permission to stop, not pressure to keep going. So I'm giving you that permission. Not because I have any authority over you, but because sometimes we need to hear it from someone, even if it's just a voice in the dark. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to let go. You are allowed to stop carrying everything all by yourself. And if you're worried about what that means, if you're worried that letting go means giving up or losing control or failing somehow, let me offer you this. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you're abandoning your responsibilities or ignoring what needs to be done. It just means you're acknowledging that there's a time for effort and a time for rest. And right now, this is the time for rest. Tomorrow will come. Whether you spend the night worrying about it or not, the things you need to do will still be there. Whether you rehearse them in your mind 100 times or not, the conversations you need to have will happen. Whether you script them out in advance or not, and you will handle them. Just like you've handled everything else that's come your way, because that's what you do. You show up, you try, you do your best, but right now you don't have to do anything. You can just be, and in that being, you can find a kind of peace that doesn't depend on having everything figured out. A peace that exists alongside the uncertainty, the worry, the noise. A peace that says, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know if I'll be able to handle it, but right now, in this moment, I am safe. I am held. I am allowed to rest. Can you feel it? Even just a little? The way the night holds you without asking for anything in return? The way the stillness wraps around you, not to fix you or change you, but just to be with you, exactly as you are. You don't have to be anything other than this. Tired, human, enough. And as you sit here, in this quiet room, in this chair by the window, watching your thoughts fly past like birds in the night sky, maybe you can start to notice something else. The space between the thoughts. The moments of quiet that exist even in the midst of the noise. They're small, these moments, easy to miss, but they're there. And in those spaces, there's a kind of stillness that doesn't require you to do anything, be anything, fix anything. There's just breath and presence, and the simple fact that you are here. And maybe that's enough for now. Maybe you don't need to figure out how to make the thoughts stop or how to make the worry go away. Maybe you just need to notice that, even in the midst of all of it, there are still these small pockets of quiet, and in those pockets, you can rest, even if it's just for a breath, even if it's just for a moment. One moment of rest is still rest. One breath of peace is still peace, and you deserve both. So let yourself have this moment, this breath, this quiet, not as a reward for doing everything right, but simply because you're here, and you're human, and you're allowed to be cared for, even if the only one caring for you right now is you. You're allowed to be kind to yourself. You're allowed to speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love, with gentleness, with compassion, with the understanding that being human is hard, and you're doing your best, and your best is enough. The night will hold you as long as you need it to. It won't rush you. It won't judge you. It won't demand that you be calm or peaceful or anything other than exactly what you are. It will just be here, patient and steady, offering you a place to rest until you're ready to let yourself take it. And when you are ready, when you feel yourself beginning to soften, beginning to release, beginning to trust that maybe, just maybe, you can let go, the night will catch you. It will hold you gently, the way you've always deserved to be held. And it will remind you, in the quietest whisper, that you are safe, you are seen, you are allowed to rest. You can close your eyes a little more deeply now, if they aren't already closed. You can let your breath slow down, let your body settle, let your mind drift without needing to control where it goes. You can trust that you will wake up tomorrow, and you will face whatever comes, and you will handle it, just like you always have. But for now, you can rest. You can let the day go. You can release your grip on everything you've been holding and trust that it will still be there if you need it. Or maybe it won't. Maybe some of it will fade away in the night, and you'll wake up and realize you never needed to carry it in the first place. Either way, you'll be okay, because you always are, even when it doesn't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when you're tired and overwhelmed and not sure you can keep going. You do. You keep going. And that's a kind of strength that deserves to be honored. But strength doesn't mean you never rest. It means you know when you need to, and you need to now. So rest. Let yourself rest. Let the night hold you. Let the quiet wrap around you. Let the stillness remind you that you are more than your thoughts, more than your worries, more than the endless list of things you think you should be doing or should have done. You are a person who is here, who is trying, who is tired, and who is allowed finally to stop. The night is yours. The quiet is yours. The rest is yours. Take it. You've earned it. Not because you did everything right, but because you're here, and that's always been enough.